Hey, Derek Waller here, and this video is a keto diet guide for beginners. What I'm going to do is quickly explain the keto diet and why it's so beneficial. And then I'm going to talk about a bunch of foods you can eat on the keto diet, a bunch of foods that you want to avoid, and then I'll give you a sample meal plan, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so you can get started as soon as today on the ketogenic diet. So what is the keto diet? It's basically a high-fat diet, and the reason why it's so beneficial is when you eat healthier, higher fat foods, your body reprograms itself from being a carb and sugar burner to being a fat burner. So right now, if you're eating a lot of carbs, if you're eating a lot of breads, pastas, sugars, fruit, things like that, your body is ingesting a lot of carbohydrates, which get turned into sugar in the body, and that's what it's used for energy. When you flip it on its head and eat fewer carbs and eat more dietary fat and a little more protein, your body starts using fat for energy, and then it starts using your stored fat for energy, which is the fat on your stomach, on your love handles, on your thighs, on your butt, wherever you tend to store it. It starts pulling that for energy as well, which is pretty awesome, right? Because that's essentially what we want. We want to burn off the fat on our bodies without doing a ton of grueling exercise or starvation diets or crash dieting or anything like that, and this is the perfect solution. So it's something I've been doing for about 2 to 3 years now, and it's worked extremely well for me. Not just with the weight loss and the fat burning, but mental clarity, having more energy, just having a clearer mind, more focused. Your skin starts to glow and look a lot different. So there's a lot of great benefits on top of just the health and the weight loss benefits as well. So that's one of the main reasons why you want to do it. And in order to get into ketosis, which is essentially the state of fat burning in your body, it's really just an absence of carbohydrates. So when you cut the carbs out, not completely, but you're mainly getting them from vegetables now instead of other sources like the rice and the potatoes and the pastas. When you do that and you keep your carbs lower, then your body starts producing ketones, and you can use that for energy, so you burn more fat throughout the day. So that's basically why you want to do it. And a little quick background on the keto diet. And now we can go into the foods that you can eat. So some of the most common foods you can eat, I like to break them down into 3 categories. So healthy fats, proteins, and veggies. If you just think of it like that in every meal, okay, I'm going to have a protein, I'm going to have a healthy fat, and I'm going to have a veggie. It makes it very, very simple. And then you can just mix and match whichever of those foods you like to make a breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, anything like that. So it takes a lot of the overwhelm and a lot of the confusion out of it. Like I have to prepare these fancy meals. No, you don't. You can just pick one from each. So the proteins that you can have in the keto diet are essentially meats. So steak, ground beef, burgers, pork, chicken, anything like that, duck, lamb, venison. So fish, your most traditional types of meat you can have. The one thing you want to do is you want to start eating the fattier cuts of meat. So we've been conditioned to eat the lean cuts of meats forever. Eat the chicken breast, eat the ground beef that's 90% lean with only 10% fat, because we think if you eat less fat, then you will be less fat. And it's actually the opposite. So you want to go ahead and grab the chicken thighs with the skin on it. You want to grab the steaks with the fat on it. You want to grab the fattier cuts of ground beef. Get the 80-20, where it's 80% lean, 20% fat instead of the 90-10. Because what happens is when you eat protein, your body still releases insulin, which is the fat storage hormone. But what happens is it kind of curbs that when you add the fat. So the fat is like the buffer where it keeps your insulin levels lower, and it also keeps you full a lot longer. So you'll be eating the fattier cuts of meat. You won't be hungry, every couple hours. You can eat that and then not eat again for 4 to 5 hours. Not because you're, skipping meals or, trying to starve yourself, but it's because you just literally are not hungry because you have the fattier cuts that help keep you full longer. So get out of the mindset that you're just eating, lean fish or just chicken breast. No, you can eat the fattier cuts that actually, to me, taste a lot better. So those are a lot of the proteins that you can eat. When we come to veggies, the lower starch of veggies are the best ones. So broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, asparagus. You can even have some green beans in there. Those are the best ones, and those are the ones that I usually stick to. And a way to make them actually taste good, because who likes just sitting there eating raw veggies? I mean, to me, as someone who eats a lot of vegetables, that still sounds pretty nasty to me. So what's worked really well for me is, one, cooking them in healthy fats. So cooking them in grass-fed butter tastes really, really good, or coconut oil, or olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil. You can do that and add some sea salt or some pink Himalayan salt on top. That makes them taste really good. What I made last night was cauliflower mashed potatoes, which is the simplest recipe in the world. And since I can do it, anyone can do it because I hate cooking. So all you do is take a head of cauliflower, chop it up into a bunch of the florets, put it in a big microwavable safe dish or bowl. Put about 2 tablespoons of butter on top and put it in the microwave for about 10 minutes. Then when it's done, put it into a blender and just put it on low and let it pulse with, about 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream for about 5 minutes, and let it kind of pulse it up and make it really into the smooth, creamy cauliflower mashed potatoes. Those are really good. I have those probably 2 to 3 times a week. It makes it really easy to get your veggies in while also filling you up because you have the butter and the heavy whipping cream in there as well. So that's another way to make the veggies taste good. And then you got the healthy fats, which is the main thing because you're going to be eating more of these to help keep you full, to help add flavor to your meals, and to help get you into ketosis. So healthy fats are, again, grass-fed butter, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil. You can have ghee, which is like a form of butter. You can have avocado oil. And then there's more foods that just have healthier fats in them. So avocados. Bacons have a lot of healthy fats. Eating eggs is a great source, and you want to eat the yolks, not the egg whites. The egg whites are just liquid protein, so there's not any nutrients in there or vitamins or the good stuff. It's really just liquid protein. So you want to eat the yolks because that's where all the nutrients, all the healthy fats, all the vitamins are that your body needs and that your body runs on. So you want to eat the fats or the yolk in there as well. So bacon's a great source, and again, the fattier cuts of meat. Nuts are a great source. Some of the best ones are macadamia nuts. Almonds, walnuts are very, very good as well. So those are a bunch of the healthy fats you can do, and then it's really just mixing and matching. So you can maybe take, you have a steak with some broccoli and broccoli cooked in grass-fed butter and a half an avocado. Another thing you can throw in there is cheese. So cheese is really good, and cheese really depends on the person. Some people can have it and they're fine. Other people can have it and it stalls weight loss. So really you want to test it out and see what works best for you. What I always recommend is you just clean up your diet. So you clean up all the processed foods. You cut all those out. You cut out the desserts. You cut out the breads and the pastas. And if you're doing that while eating the cheese and the scale still isn't budging, the inches still aren't coming off, then you might want to take it out for a week or 10 days and see if it makes a difference. But for most people, cheese isn't the problem. It's, the sweets. It's the big bowls of pasta. It's, the foods that aren't good for us that we're still eating. So you want to stick with the hard cheeses, though. Those are best, and don't do the reduced fat cheese. The reduced fat kinds have, added artificial sweeteners. They take out the fat, so they got to add something in to make them taste good. So again, it's usually sugar or artificial sweeteners. So get regular cheese and go with that. Some of my favorites, I like cheddar. I like Gouda. We do those a lot. If we make a homemade like pizza casserole, we do the mozzarella with the whole milk. So that's a good one as well. So just pick the ones that you like. The hard cheeses are the best, and go with that. So that's as easy as it can be, is just really picking one of those foods from each of those groups and putting it together to make a meal. So now that we talked about the foods that you can eat, let's talk about the foods that you want to cut out. Most of these are obvious, but there's some that are not so obvious as well. So you want to cut out all the high-carb foods that have very little nutritional value. So we're talking about the breads. Even whole wheat bread is really no different than white bread. They're going to do the same thing to your body, which is cause it to store fat. Especially if you have fat to lose now, then your body doesn't process sugars and carbs very well, likely insulin resistant. So we want to cut all those out so you can start burning fat again. So again, all the breads, all the pastas, it doesn't matter if it's whole wheat pasta or 7-grain pasta. They make all these fancy pastas now that you're led to believe that they're healthier for you. They really aren't. So we want to cut those out, the crackers, the chips. We want to cut out the brown rice, the white rice, all types of that. Potatoes, very high in carbs, and can spike your blood sugar and your insulin very, very quickly, almost worse than a candy bar when you think about it. So I'm going to cut out the potatoes, the cereals, basically the high carb foods that are processed that have very little nutritional value and knock you out of ketosis. So we want to cut all those out. And then you have the obvious ones like the desserts, the ice cream, the cakes, all those type of foods. And then a lot of foods that people don't recognize or realize when you want to start burning fat is you want to cut out a lot of the fruit. So the apples, the bananas, the oranges. I mean, we bought oranges for our kids today. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old at home, so they like fruit, which is great. But you buy one of those small oranges, and there's 12 to 15 grams of sugar in just one of those. And so that's just an instant insulin spike. It's an instant blood sugar spike. So we want to get rid of that. So we kind of got to disable the thinking you've had up to this point where all fruits are good for you and fruits and veggies are lumped in the same category. They're not. Vegetables are 100 times better for you than fruits. So you want to cut those out, the pineapples, the mangoes. When it comes to fruit, the best ones are berries. So raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, and strawberries are the ones that I would recommend sticking with. And for the first 30 days, I would even go very low on those. Maybe just have a quarter of a cup or half a cup daily, and then cut back based on how your results are going. So if your results are stalled, you might want to cut that back even farther. But those are very low in carbs, lower in sugar as well. So you want to stick with the berries and stay away from the apples and the bananas and the oranges and the grapes. Grapes are very high in sugar. You want to stay away from all of those. So those are the foods that you can eat. A quick list, those are the foods that you can't eat. And then again, the sample meal plan is really just putting together the foods that you can eat and doing it, choosing the foods that you like the best. So picking a protein, you can do eggs in the morning with some bacon and half an avocado if you want to. You can do some sausage with some fried eggs and some peppers chopped up. You can make an omelet with peppers and mushrooms and some leafy greens in there like spinach or kale. Those are great options as well. Make an omelet with that with a little bit of cheese in there. So that could be breakfast. Lunch could be as simple as, a bunless burger. So cheeseburgers are awesome. I eat a couple every week for meals. So you just want to get rid of the bun and the condiments, like the ketchup. Most ketchup has high fructose corn syrup, which is terrible for you, or other sugars. So you always want to stick with the burger itself. No bun. You can add some cheese on there, maybe some avocado or some guacamole or some tomato, or you could do a fried egg on top or some bacon on top. All these different ways you can make it taste really, really good. You could do that with a side of cauliflower cooked in grass-fed butter, or maybe grilled asparagus with some salt on top. And then if you cook those in butter, then you got your healthy fat in there as well, and the cheese has some fat and the beef has some fat, so you're getting the fat, you're getting the protein, and you're getting the veggies in there as well. It could be as simple as that. And then for dinner, you could do, again, the steak with the cauliflower mashed potatoes, or the steak with the Brussels sprouts and, cooked in butter, or with some cheese on the side, or something like that. You could do a giant salad. I like to make salads, and, not these wimpy little salads where it's like a side salad. I make mine huge. And then you put in things like hard-boiled egg chopped up bacon. You can do like blue cheese crumbles on top. You can do, I like to use, avocado, or not avocado. Avocado's a great one as well, but black olives, chop a bunch of those, put those in there, chop up some tomatoes. You can do that. For salad dressings, I like to use either just lemon. So I just take a half a lemon or a couple lemon wedges and squirt it on my salad. I tried it like a year ago, and it was awesome. So I've been doing that a lot. Or I do a tablespoon or two of avocado oil and sprinkle that on top, so it kind of takes away the dryness of the salad, and then all the flavors from the foods that we have in there really take care of that, so you don't need a bunch of salad dressing to make it taste good. So I like to do that as well. So again, just mix and match whatever the foods taste good to you. And just find the ones that taste really good, and then you'll realize that you want to stick with those, and then you kind of get into a groove where this becomes really, really easy, because you're actually full from your meals. You're actually eating foods that taste good. We're not eating the bland chicken breast or the dry salads or the celery sticks for a snack. We're actually eating real foods that'll help fill you up. And then it just becomes easier and easier and easier to stick with it. So what I always recommend is just take one day and go for it. And go for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Try to cut out the snacks as best as you can as well. And then, once you're a day or two in, just take those small little baby steps to get started, and then it becomes a lot easier after that. So again, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Now what I'm doing is I'm running a free 7-day diet challenge, which is basically taking the foods that we talked about in this video and committing to a 7-day challenge where people have lost anywhere from 2 to 10.5 pounds in those 7 days. It's been incredible. I've run it through a private Facebook group. It's been life-changing for a lot of people. So if you want to get your hands on that 7-day diet absolutely free, just my way of saying thank you for taking the time to watch this video, then just go ahead and click the link in the description below. You can let me know the best email to send it to, and I'll send it over to you. Again, my 100% free, just my way of saying thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We can get you started on that 7-day diet challenge, and you can start getting some awesome results for free. And if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button below. Go ahead and subscribe. Click the subscribe button below because I'm shooting new videos every single week to help you burn more fat, lose more weight quickly and easily around your busy schedule. And don't forget to leave a comment below if there's something you want me to cover in future videos, or if you just have any questions about the keto diet or just fat burning in general or how to lose weight. Those are my main specialties, doing that without a lot of exercise. So if you have any questions, just drop them below, and I'll make sure to answer them as quickly as possible. All right, talk soon.